What was the first story you came up with?
The first story?
Well, any of them.
Actually, was my coldest day in Alaska.
What was your coldest day in Alaska?
It was 30 below zero with 50 knot winds.
That sounds chilly.
It was very chilly. It was so cold. I did not realize that this was possible. But I remember throwing a cup of the last part of a cup of coffee out the window. I had a window there, and it froze. The coffee froze before it hit the ground. That was cold. But those 50 knot winds, I mean, our maintenance workers were under white bunny suits. Have you seen those before? Yeah, with the inflated boots and all that stuff. Hard working folks. Amazing.
Yeah, there's some stories for sure. That was a king salmon?
That was at King Salmon, Alaska, where fishing was the mission. We actually had hat and ball caps made up of that. King Salmon Airport, Alaska, where fishing is the mission. New commander come in and hated those hats. It was an automatic letter of counseling if you got caught wearing one.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I probably could tell 100 stories about king salmon. Most of them probably can't be repeated in genteel company.
That's fine. So you were there for a year, right?
Yes, one long year.
And that was the B-50. Was that a B-52 base? What was the mission there?
We had a dual mission. We had two fighter aircraft on alert, and we also had a radar squadron.
Oh yeah.
Where we did the first F-15 intercept in Alaska after they had switched the aircraft out from F-4s.
That's cool.
Yeah. You know, another thing that was cool is whenever I left, they did something special for me. They didn't do it for normally as usually flight related personnel, but they lit the Christmas tree up for me when I left. You know, the warning lights on the alert facility.
Oh yeah.
They lit the Christmas tree up for me.
That's cool.
I'll never forget when I left there. And when I heard the landing gear go up on the aircraft, I said, I am going home. I could not believe I was leaving that place. It was a long year. Julie was just, was just a little over a year old whenever I left. So, I missed a lot of the first with her.
Yeah. I can relate.
I know you can relate to that.
I can relate. But you were there for the birth.
But
hopefully the conception.
One of the neat things, though, was I had a double room, and the commander approved it where Marge could come up at Christmas time. And I will tell you, I think every person on that site held Julie at one time or another. And you could see these guys, you could just see them fantasizing that was their own child.
That meant a lot to him.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Her first haircut was at King Salmon.
Well, you were there for that first. Was it the base barber?
It was the base barber that did it. Yeah. And in fact, that was his second duty. He was there as a security policeman. He was in his off-duty hours. He did haircuts. And you know what Julie got as a reward for being a good girl in the barber chair? She got her own security police beret.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a
that's
size
pretty
4.
generous.